Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I have some very easy double flap fun fold card ideas to share with you. And I have two different ways you can use this fun fold in your card making. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have two different fun fold card ideas that I want to share with you. And I'm super excited about these card ideas because I was just kind of playing around with some of my cardstock and I came up with this fun fold. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, the cards in this video feature the brand new stamp set called Framed Florets from Stampin Up. And I will also be using some of the new framed floret dies. And the other stamp set I will be using is the Framed and Festive stamp set. Now, these particular products are brand new. They were just launched on November 1st. They will be available through January 4th. So I am super excited to kind of launch these today with you by showing you a Christmas card idea with this particular bundle. So the bundles can be used for creating Christmas cards, or you can create all occasions cards. So I am going to show you how to make this super cool little fun fold card. Isn't that cool? It's very simple. You're going to be surprised at how simple this is. So let me show you how to make it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this particular card, but the concept for creating this double flap fun fold card is exactly the same for both cards. The only difference is that I have one of the flaps on the inside for this particular card, and for the other card, I put the flap on the outside of the card instead of having it rest on the inside of the card. So it's the exact same measurements for creating these cards. It's just that I decorated them a little bit differently. Okay, so first let's talk about how to create the card base. So what I have here is just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of evening evergreen cardstock. So that's this piece. And then this piece is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I scored it in the middle at 4 1/4 inches to create just a standard size card base. Okay, so we're going to take this standard size card base and we are going to cut it down. So basically you're going to take your card base and you're going to put the 5 1/2 inch side up at the top, and you're going to line it up at the 4 inch mark, and you're just going to make the cut. So this one is just 4 by 4 1/4 inches. And then this leftover piece is just 1 1/2 by 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to use both of these pieces to create our double flap fun fold card. All right, so now that we have both of our pieces cut, I'm going to just set the 4 inch piece to the side here, and we're going to start with this smaller piece. So the first thing we want to do is we just want to adhere this to our card base. So this is our card base. This is just 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock. That's it. So we're going to adhere this off the left side, and I'm going to adhere it right in the center of this card base. So this is going to be one of our first fun fold flaps, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some designer paper before I add this other fun fold section. So I have a piece of designer paper here that is 1 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches. And then I have a piece of real red cardstock, which is 1 3/4 by 4 inches. So I'm just going to adhere these two pieces together. And before I adhere them to the inside of my card here, I'm going to just color these little berries. So this is one of the pattern papers in the Fitting Florets Collection. So it's a brand new product suite. And so the cool thing is you can take your Stampin' Blends and you can just add some color to different things on your designer paper. So I'm just using, actually I'm using a little bit of Poppy Parade. It's the dark Poppy Parade. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color to these berries. So now I can just add some glue to the back of this, and we can just add this to the inside of our card here. So you're going to add it right over the top of that flap. All right, so now that we have that added, we can go ahead and we can add our second flap. So this is that 4-inch wide piece. It's 4 1/4 inches long, so it's the exact length of this cardstock piece. So we're just going to add some glue to the back of this. And I'm just going to turn it, and we're going to adhere this to the side of the card here. And I recommend using liquid glue because you can kind of scoot this around to get it where you want it. All right, so this is what our fun flap looks like. So you can decorate it with this flap on the front, or you can decorate it with this flap on the inside, and that's how we're going to decorate this particular card. So I'm going to start with a couple pieces of cardstock to decorate the outside of our card. So the red piece is just 3 3/4 by 4 inches. And then the white piece is just 3 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches. So I'm just going to adhere these two pieces together. And I embossed my white cardstock with the quatrefoil tile embossing folder. You can use any embossing folder that you have on hand. Now that we have these two pieces adhered together, we can go ahead and adhere it directly to that large flap that we made for the front of our card. The next thing I did is just cut out some oval shapes using the new Framed Florets collection. So I used this particular oval die that is in that collection, and it cuts out this little oval with the lines in it, and it cuts out the oval that you can stamp on. So I cut it out twice. I cut it once using soft succulent cardstock, and then I cut it again using some white cardstock. So we're just going to add this large oval first. And the nice thing about this set is, well, we haven't had ovals for a while, but the nice thing about it is that these ovals layer together. We will add our little greeting. And I just stamped this greeting on here using some Evening Evergreen ink. And then I just stamped a couple of the flowers. There's a lot of different flowers in this particular stamp set. So I just stamped a couple of them and colored them in with the Poppy Parade and some soft succulent. Just added a little bit of gold trim to the back. So I use washi tape just to tape my trim right to the back of whatever embellishment I'm using. And then we can just pop this up right on the card. And then this one I just colored again with the Poppy Parade and the soft succulent. And then I just used the dies from this particular set to cut out these pieces. All right, so that's the front of our card. And now we can lift the flap up, and we still have this flap to decorate yet. We're gonna put that to the side for the moment. And I'm going to add some more paper to the inside. So the paper is the same size as what we used on the front. So the real red piece is 3 3/4 by 4 inches. And then the white piece is 3 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches. So we just add this piece to the inside. And now we have to decorate this little flap. So I'm going to show you how I did mine. So I cut out some more ovals using one of the dies. And then I just stamped that same image that we used on the front of the card. I stamped it on the oval. But I want to show you what I did with the stitching. So I kind of added my own stitching using the soft succulent Stampin' Blend. So I just used the light shade, and basically what I did is just kind of went around and just added little bits of stitching, kind of using the ballpoint pen side of this Stampin' Blend. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a handmade card, right? But I thought the stitching just kind of, you know, made the floral image on here just pop a little bit more. So it's pretty easy just to kind of go around and add little lines like that. So kind of fun. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to add that to this section of our fun fold. So I'm going to add some glue right on this particular section. And I think I'll add a little bit more on this side. And we'll adhere this first. And then you're just going to flip it over and you're going to add the other oval on this side just to kind of cover it up and to decorate it a little bit more. So again, I recommend using liquid glue so that you can scooch everything together and get it just the way you want it. All right, so what you have is your little oval on this side with that beautiful Christmas floral on there. And then you have your oval on this side with the exact same thing. So it's just kind of a fun way to use this little flap of the card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a little greeting right underneath this oval. So now your oval will cover that greeting or that sentiment, and then this will be your card. And then for the finishing touch, we're just going to add a couple of these little gold swirls. So these come in the Fitting Florets Collection. If you decide to get the entire collection, the collection includes both stamp sets, the die set, the designer paper, and these beautiful little gems here that you can use to decorate your card. So this is our fun fold, the first one that I showed you. So notice how the oval is on the inside here. So the second way that you can use this fun fold is just use the exact same measurements, but instead of having your oval, this oval piece on the inside, you have it on the outside to decorate the outside of your card. So I stamped the greeting, the Christmas greeting, on the outside of this one. So you flip this over and you have that beautiful floral on the other side of the oval. And then I just decorated up this part of the fun fold with some florals so that when this is closed, you can see those little florals. It kind of decorates the card very nicely. And then you can open up your fun fold and then you have your greeting or your sentiment on the inside. And I added a couple more florals down here. So you can kind of see these florals from the outside too. So it's just another way that you can use this fun fold card. Okay, so there you go. Now you have two different ways you can use this double flap fun fold card idea in your card making. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.